Okay guys, I'm here in a bombed out building in Gaza, and you can see total destruction of whatever this place used to be. It's gone through some sort of missile strike and just total debris everywhere. You could only imagine what kind of missiles hit this place. It's been almost 3 years since the war started, and you can see vegetation is already starting to grow over the destroyed building here. Wait a minute. We're not in Gaza. This is India. Yeah, this is basically just what India looks like on a normal day-to-day basis. It's all just real untaken care of, and you can see all this trash everywhere. This building isn't some sort of it's not a ruin. It's not an ancient ruin, which is what it looks like. It's in the middle of being made. This is a new building. This is supposed to be a police station. And they got, what is this, 10% into building it. And then they just completely stopped. And I see like a burrow down there. Some sort of animal digging its way, made a little house. And all this place is used for is as a dumping ground for trash. There's piles of trash everywhere. And when they clean the trash, put it up into a big pile and they burn it. And that's their method of cleaning. They also got junkies here shooting up smack every so often. We saw somebody burning trash. We tried to confront them, and it was some drug addict doing drugs. And that's the state of this area. And this is a government area. You see behind us, there's always policemen walking around, and a lot of government officials live in this area. But one of the problems here is if it's not directly affecting you, like on your doorstep, they're not going to do much about it. They just kind of ignore it. By they, I mean Indian people and the government. It's a bit of a universal attitude toward that. And you just got piles and piles of trash. Nobody really cares. You got some unused cups here, but that's the current state of this place. Okay, coming up on our last few days here in India, and I'm doing a little summary of my experience, kind of the pros and cons of living here. We are walking out of our neighborhood here. Sat Sri Akal ji. We got our neighbors here. Nice little yard they got. Sat Sri Akal ji. ठीक है जी, हाँ जी. All good, हाँ जी.
ਜਾਣ ਨੂੰ ਜੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ, ਉਹਨੇ ਟਿਕਟ ਲੇਟ ਕਰਾ ਲਈ ਆਪਣੀ।
नहीं जी.
ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ
ਓਕੇ ਜੀ
ਅੰਕਲ ਇਹ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਜੀ
ਇਹਨੂੰ ਟਾਈਟ ਕਰ ਦੇ
ਇਹ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕਰਵਾ ਦਿੰਦੀ
ਸਾਡੀ ਕਾਪੀ ਲਿਆ ਗਈ
ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਤੇ ਕਰਾ ਦੂੰਗੀ ਇੱਕ ਅੱਧਾ
Okay, ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ. Met with the neighbors there. Nice neighbors. We're having some problems with this dog. Doesn't want to act right. So yeah, we're doing a summary of my experience here, and made a little list of pros and cons, and got a pretty good idea of everything I gotta say. And we are walking right through one of the cons, which is the pollution situation. You see the smoke back there. It is burning plastic. There are a lot of burning plastic here. We got the dumping ground right here all over. They just cleaned this too, so it was even when they cleaned it, it wasn't looking that nice. All the debris, it's been like that since I got here. Really no it's just a lot of broken toilets. You can see like 2 broken toilets right there. All this cement. You got a stray dog back there. A lot of stray dogs. Grown out vegetation. And I actually had a really good idea about making a video over here.
ਤਾਂ ਬਣਾ ਲਓ ਛੇਤੀ
ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਫਿਲਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਣਾ.
ਲੈ
Okay, let's do it.
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਬਸ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ
ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਈਏ? ਨਿਰਵਾਣਾ ਤੇ ਆਨੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ. And go to our classic, our old school coffee shop that we been going to for a while.
ਕਰ ਲਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਰ ਲਾ
This guy's about to take a shit. That's nice. I'm gonna take a little shit here. So we just went over one of the cons, which is all the pollution, and I guess you could say lack of regulation, because whoever owned that plot back there, they would get fined real bad if it was somewhere in America. And that con leads into another con, which is air pollution, because their only way of managing the trash. Oh yeah, but I clear. Because honey not oh yeah. ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ. See how right now this sky is never this clear. You'll never get the sky this clear. Only right after it rains. That's why I wanted to come out right now and show it. It's the clearest, probably one of the clearest times I've ever seen while I've been here. Never seen the sky this blue. Usually it's a muddy gray, even when there's no cloud coverage. But anyways, the trash situation. So because of all the public trash, you see piles like that. You see piles of trash everywhere, just like that. Piles of leaves, piles of rubbish. And look at that dog. Stray dogs. And people just burn it. And that's not the main cause of the air pollution. The main cause of the air pollution is people doing burning in the agricultural areas. They burn their crops to clear out their land, and that makes its way into the city. But the trash doesn't help. You got a burn pile right there, walking past. Oh, we got a mission success for the dog. He's taking a crap. And, oh my God. Why is it so red? This shit is super red. Oh, he's gonna step in it. That's like a human-sized shit too. Why is this little dog taking such a huge shit? It's real nice. Uh-oh. Here's another problem. It's not just trash pollution or air pollution. It's noise pollution. You get so much noise pollution, and it's straight up hell. Straight up hell for a light sleeper. If you're a light sleeper in India, it's like game over. Being a light sleeper in India is a death sentence. You're gonna wake up at the slightest noise. And there's an abundance of noise, that's for sure. Stray dogs, people honking their horn. There's just a different culture. In America, nobody honks their horn. It's super rude. You do honk your horn, you usually get into a fight. Here, you gotta honk your horn when you turn in a corner, just to warn the other person that you're behind them. So it's totally different rule set. And pretty much naming all the cons. We'll get to some of the pros. Main pro is it's so cheap. Everything here is, usually 10 times more affordable. And you look at the exchange rate of the currency. It's been working in the favor of the dollar pretty much since my parents left this country in the 80s. Just since I got here. Last year I got here, and the dollar was worth 83 rupees. And as it is today, it's hovering around like mid 94 rupees. 94, 95 rupees. So that's over 10% increase for just the value of the dollar just this year. And that's the funny thing about all these banks that offer 6 to 7% interest rates on savings accounts here is you put a bunch of rupees in a bank, you're not even keeping up with the dollar. You're really not even keeping up with the dollar. You're still performing 4% worse than the dollar is. So people like my mom, older people who are, they're not residents of India. They call them NRIs. They work and live outside of India. Literally no point in saving money in a savings account in India. You think you're compounding your money, putting it in a 6 to 7% interest rate savings account, you're actually losing 4% just against the dollar. But it's good for the Indian consumer, and it's even better for the Indian consumer who is an NRI, because any money they make outside, they can come use it here, and it's worth 10 times what it is in America. Okay, look at this. Our dog has got some fans, some little kids. Hello. Little kids petting our dog. Oh, he's loving it.
Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Hello. You guys like India?
Yeah.
How do you guys like living here in India?
India.
Yes.
Do you speak English?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about India?
India. Golden Temple.
Golden Temple. Okay, yeah, very nice. That's a good point. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm from Chandigarh. I'm from Chandigarh.
Okay, Chandigarh. What's your favorite thing about Chandigarh?
Chandigarh. Sector 17.
Okay, that's like their Ranjit Avenue?
Yeah? What?
Ran-
Speak again.
What's your favorite thing about Chandigarh?
Chandigarh is a beautiful city. There has a swimming pool, very famous swimming pool on Elante Mall rooftop.
Okay, so the infrastructure. You like the Chandigarh infrastructure?
Infrastructure.
Chandigarh ਦੀਆਂ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗਾਂ ਪਸੰਦ ਆ ਲਾਈਕ ਉੱਥੇ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਬਣਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ.
Aho.
Okay. Very nice. All right, thank you, buddy. What's your name?
My name is Anshveer Ghatraj.
Okay, Anshveer
There was
Gatraj.
SD College, very famous college, SD College, where I study.
Okay, nice. How old are you?
I'm 15 years old.
Okay, 15. Okay, nice.
Where are you
Very
from?
nice. I'm from California.
California.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys like and share, comment.
Yeah, thank you.
What is your channel name?
My channel name? Damn. Do I have a card on me? I don't have a card on me. Do I?
Right, so bye.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Bye. ये वाला vlog डालोगे तुसी?
Hanji.
Oh. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So nice little kids. Yeah, I was 15 talking about college. I didn't think he was old enough to be in college. So yeah, his favorite thing about the city he was talking about, Chandigarh, is the infrastructure, which it is good over there. Even the infrastructure here is better than the town that I live in, because the town I live in is a tiny little village. So yeah, the infrastructure could use some work. Look at this footpath. This is the nicest footpath you will probably see in India. And in America, it'd probably be the worst footpath you'll ever see. But what were we talking about before? We were talking about the exchange rate. Really in favor of Americans. The exchange rate. Yeah?
ਪੂਰੀ ਭੁੱਖ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਪਰ ਕਿ ਨਾਰਮਲ ਗੱਲ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਪੂਰੀ ਭੁੱਖ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਫਲੋਰ ਦੇ ਲਾਈਕ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਟ੍ਰੇ ਡੌਗ ਲਈ ਡੌਗ ਫੂਡ ਪਾਇਆ ਇਹਨੇ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਖਾਧਾ
Oh my God.
ਉਹਦਾ ਵੀ ਸਟੈਂਡਰਡ ਆ
Yeah. Our dog is so hungry, but he still didn't eat the food that's meant for the stray dogs. Let's get a shot of the dog. Little dog shot. Little shot of all three of us. It's okay. I covered the money. Covered how cheap it is. It's real cheap. It's real convenient. This morning, see a Band-Aid on my arm. I just got full blood work done in my house. Wasn't the most sanitary operation. The guy did not wash his hands before drawing my blood. No gloves.
ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਦੇ ਮਲੇਸਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਉੱਥੇ
Oh yeah.
ਉਹਨੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ
Yeah, our dog got molested by those kids. So yeah, the guy had no gloves, no sanitary regulations, no nothing. And but he came to our house, drew our blood work. Well, just mine. Full report. They're checking my free testosterone and my vitamin levels and basically doing a whole full body checkup. Did it at home, straight out of bed. Didn't have to go to the doctor's. Didn't have to wait in a waiting room. None of that stuff. And it was all cost $60 total for all the tests. And just an insane level of convenience. You order food. Okay, totally unnecessary horn honking. You order food on their version of Uber Eats, and it costs $2 more than it would when you just go there to pick it up. $2, around 200 rupees. Meanwhile, in America, you're looking at double, triple your original price when you get it delivered. So totally different standard here, totally different standard. And that's with the tip included. 200 extra with the tip included. You give them 100 rupees as a tip, which is a little over $1, and they are happy as can be. They're actually not even used to it. We got some people working here on this house. That's another benefit of if you live here. If you live here, it's real cheap to get work done on your house. Repairs, electrical work, anything like that, even renovations. Super affordable. And you can pretty much do whatever you think of. That was another point in the pros. But it only applies if you live here. Is there's no regulations, and you could, no permits. You could build a fence as high as you want. You could build whatever you want. Build your house 15 stories high if you want. You don't got to ask anybody. You don't got to get permission from your neighbor. You don't got to get permission from the city council. For us in America, you got to go to city council. You got to get permission from the neighbor. You got to go through 1,000 hoops to do anything. Even to renovate inside your house, you got to get permits. Here, it's nothing. You could, if you could think it and you could afford it, you could do it. But that only applies to if you live here. Not really a benefit for someone like me. Huh?
ਜਿਹਨੇ ਕਿ ਡੌਗੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਫਿਰ
ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ ਓਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਡੌਗੀ ਦੇ ਸਟੋਰ ਦੇ ਐਨ ਨਾਲ Uh-oh. Our dog could smell the dog food inside the doggy shop. Okay, here we are. Okay, look at built a brand new dentist right next to this coffee shop we always go to. Here's our coffee shop called Nirvana. Hello. It's the inside of our coffee shop. Huh? ਉੱਥੇ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਣਾ Thank you. ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ. Okay, they denied us entry with the dog. Should have just let us in for old time's sake. All right, I'll continue on with my list. ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾਲ ਲੈ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਇਹ ਥੱਕ ਗਿਆ
ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਪਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ
ਮੇਰਾ ਮਾਈਕ ਸਮੈਲ ਕਰਦਾ trying to eat my mic. So the next thing on the list, it also plays into each other. The pro is slave labor. That's actually a pro for me. The fact that there is slave labor available here. The fact that there's slave labor is a good thing, in my opinion. I'm a hard fan of the caste system. I think it's a very good thing, especially in a place as populous as India. There needs to be a concrete separation of classes. And you know, it may sound cruel to Western standards, but so as I was saying, segregation in India at least is a good thing. Separate the different classes, and it is a racial thing because the lower class, the lower castes, they are basically a different race. They're very different. You see the phenotypes varying a lot from person to person in different classes. Like it or not, the higher castes, they are more light-skinned. They do have more European features. And the lower castes, they are darker. And they do have more, you know, African features, I guess you could say. And it's a good thing. You need to be separate. And it is not separate but equal. It is just totally separate. It is even more severe than Jim Crow, because Jim Crow was separate but equal. This is not equal. There is straight up slaves and masters here. Like, for example, at our house, we call her a maid. The slave situation. So at our house, we have a housemaid. We call her a housemaid, but it's basically a live-in servant. And I'll be honest, our situation is different because I think we'd be better off without her. She's more of a headache than she is a convenience. And also, she's not held against her will or anything. She's there voluntarily. We got a gas station here, Indian gas station. This is the newest one, right by our house. Beautiful gas station. Only looks like 10 pumps. Only 10 pumps. Technically 5, because they are double-sided. Oh, so yeah, technically 6 pumps, because you could only use one pump at a time, petrol or diesel. And got some cops honking at us. So we have this live-in housemaid at our house. The small dog is much more convenient to walk than the big dog. We'll get another doggy cam view. A shot of all 3 of us. The dog's eye view is always interesting. So back to our servant situation at my house. She's a live-in servant. She's not there against her will, but she is essentially kept like a slave. And she does all the cleaning. She does a lot of the cooking. But these people's standards, they're far lower than our own. So she has to be taught what hygiene is. She basically has to be taught everything. She's not very smart either. And I just hate having a third person who's just like constantly there. Like, she's constantly listening to all our fights and arguments, and yeah, it doesn't matter because she doesn't have like any friends to relay the information to, but it's just awkward. In America, privacy is such a huge thing, and here it's kind of different. Now, she is treated a bit of like an object, but at the end of the day, she is a person, and she's more of a nuisance to me, because I feel like stuff she does we could do on our own. She washes clothes, she washes the bathroom, she washes the dogs, cooks the food for the dogs, cleans the dishes, does all that stuff. But it's real annoying when she does something wrong. And during my first couple of months here, I was real jaded. I don't know if that's the right word, but I was real indoctrinated by American ideology of, okay, she's like, everybody's human, they should be treated as human, and no one's below anybody else. It took me a couple of months, and really smacked the sense back into myself. Or not even back into myself, I just learned it, a new thing, that no, everybody's not equal. There's a difference. And basically, people are in the position that they deserve to be in, essentially. And yeah, there's some people who are luckier than others. Some people are less lucky than others. But it is what it is. We are being stalked by stray dogs. Like, look at my dog. Look at the treatment. The treatment that my dog gets versus these stray dogs. Stray dogs, their life is struggle. Our dog has basically a life of luxury compared to the stray dogs. That's just the way it is. Really nothing you could do about it. We're at another cafe here. It's called the Cowboy Cafe. Real nice place. It's new. A lot of new cafes here. This is right next to our house. Yeah, new favorite cafe because they let our dog in. Let's take a look at the dog. Hello. Little doggy view. Okay, we'll get through the rest of the list. What else we got? Let me tell you guys the pros and cons. So I was talking about the slave. Anja. I was talking about the slave labor. And the labor is also cheap to the point where it could be considered slave labor. It's not, you know, technically not slave labor. They're still paying people, but the wages are incredibly low. You'd be lucky to be making $100 to $200 to $300 a month. You'd be lucky to be on the higher end of that. And that works out to like $10, $15 a day. And you'd be lucky for that. You'd be lucky for $10 to $15 a day. And there's clear distinctions between all the classes. We got walking in here, we got some higher class folks. These are the shot callers. And what comes with that, the slave labor, which I think is a good thing, because it allows there to be very cheap services, cheap haircuts. You get a nice haircut like I showed in that other video for $5-6, and you get the top class treatment. You get pedicures and manicures, $10 to $20. I was getting massages at my house for $6 per session, and the massage wasn't the best, but for $6, you can't do much better than what I was getting. The guy was coming to our house. So service industry is good as a result of the slave labor. What comes with that is very, very entitled people. The upper class citizens, which take advantage of the slave labor, super entitled. They think you owe them the world, and they are totally just hard to deal with. Whether that's in traffic, in a line, forget about lines, in any type of group setting, you're going to get pushed, you're going to get shoved. When you're out driving in traffic, you're going to get cut off. You're not going to get, there's no such thing as right of way in India. It's just a free-for-all. And that's because everybody thinks they're entitled to something. Because technically they are. According to their status on the ladder, they are above, 70% of the people who they meet every day. And as far as they're concerned, you're just another person who's below them. So that's one thing. And one thing in the pro, which is also sort of related to this, is special privileges if you have connections. And it seems to be a lot of people do have connections, but just by the nature of the country, there's so many people. So per capita, it's not a lot of people, but for me, it is a lot of people because the population is so high. And we got to experience some of the special privileges just the other day when we went to go see the border. It was nothing but special privileges. Compare the two experiences of the border. Without the privilege, without the pre-booking, calling for the favor from my wife's mom, and then with, where we were getting served tea by the Border Patrol guardsmen. Total night and day difference. So all in all, in my little list I got here, there is, in the pro section there, it's cheap. The location, I didn't talk about the location. The location of India physically on the map is very good as a central point for the southern hemisphere. I'm pretty sure India, it's like the center of the southern hemisphere, and might be wrong on that, might be getting my compass mixed up, but it's a good central location for proximity to Dubai, to Thailand. So India's location is perfect for proximity to Dubai, the Emirates, which as of now, you know, late March, early April, probably not the best time to be visiting Dubai, but people go there, you know. It's a sought after location to visit. So real close to Dubai, 3 hours. Another thing, the Maldives, 3 hours to the Maldives, 5 hours to Thailand, I think 6 hours to Bali, and you're real close to most of Asia. I think it's a pretty quick flight to China. They're starting to do direct flights to China now. So the location is great for this side of the world. You're a real good center point, right in the middle of a lot of places. Meanwhile, like America, it's far away from everything except Mexico and Canada. It's a 10 plus hour flight to get anywhere, whether it's Europe or Asia. So the location is good. So let's go over all the pros. So it's cheap, the location, there's no rules and regulations, slave labor, and special privileges. That's the pros. So there is 5 things in the pro section, and in the cons, it's dirty. Okay, I put convenient in the con section, which should be in the pro section. So 6 things in the pro section. Convenient. And the cons, it's dirty, the traffic is a con, and entitled people. So there's actually 6 pros and only 3 cons. So all in all, India has been pretty good. You know, there's good and there's bad. And if I were to make the list like I just did, there is technically more good than the bad. And you do get used to it. You get used to the pollution. You get used to the littering. One thing I haven't gotten used to is probably the noise, and the traffic is hard to deal with. Other than that, it's been a year here, my full year in India, with around 100 days being spent abroad. It's pretty good. It was, there was some stuff to complain about, but all in all, there was more good than there was bad.